You are live.
Okay.
Yes, so you guys can hear and see us?
Yes.
Oh,
definitely.
hallelujah.
Yeah. We're new to this whole thing a little bit here, so talk about stepping out of your comfort zone. We're going to go through that a little bit here in the next 12 weeks. We're super pumped that you guys joined us tonight for sure. So we really are excited about this.
Yeah, and we're going to get started here in just a second, but man, average people
Woo!
building this business and
Yes.
figuring out all of this technology, all of the moving parts.
We know what the Fast Track did for us and our team and what Market America, the company, has done for our family. And we just wanted to pay that back to you guys. And if we can be a part of your journey and your growth here in the next 12 weeks, we are all in. Right, babe?
All in.
All in.
Hey, guys, here's the deal, too. We are in build mode. We are crushing it, making things happen personally, but also our team is on fire.
Yes.
On the last Fast Track. So those were really our results from the last Fast Track that we were just like, oh, my gosh, we have to continue
Yes.
this momentum, right? When your foot's on the gas pedal, you're cranking it out. You got to keep your foot on the gas pedal. But I wanted to share with you guys some of our team results that were a part of Team Freedom Haskins on the last Fast Track, guys. Because some of you are new to the Fast Track and wondering like, man, is this really going to work for me? How is this really going to get me into momentum and making things happen? Well, in the last 90 days, you guys, our team sold over 78 tickets. So I'm talking about result producing activities here, okay? So 78 tickets, we added 156 BV customers, which is off the hook awesome. And we added over 30 new partners to our team in the last 90 days. So my question for you is, how many of you would love those numbers within your team?
Yep.
And it's all relative based on how big your team is, but you have to get into the energy of growing the business and making things happen. So first and foremost.
And as a team, just the 90-day Fast Track, there's over 200 new business partners, just as a team.
Of the 90-day Fast Track as a whole, there was over 200 partners added. That's
in
correct.
12 weeks.
12 weeks.
So how many of you guys want those numbers just in the next 12 weeks? This is going to explode
Within your team,
yes.
rocking it out, making it happen. So
Yes.
the first thing we want to do is we want to, as you can see here, we want to thank you. We want to thank you for trusting us with your time. We know everybody's super busy. We know that we're entering the summer months because it was a conversation that Trinity and I had. And it was like, you know what, doesn't matter because we have blinders on, man. It was like, get up in the morning, how you doing? What's your name? Market America. What underwear you're wearing? Market America. Like, it doesn't matter, like on fire.
Yes.
And just 100% focused in building our business and making things happen. But we want to thank you for trusting us with your time and being here with us in order to make things happen. And the other thing that I wanted to mention to everybody is one of the things that we live by is the secret to happiness, you guys, is freedom.
Yeah.
But also the secret to freedom is courage. And so for each and every one of you that are stepping out of your comfort zone right now, and you know who I'm talking to, some of you
You're
were
talking
thinking,
to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to Trent. Like just even doing the meet out, I'm talking to Trent. Like, out of her comfort zone, wigging out here.
Out of my comfort zone.
But here's the thing, you guys.
Jump.
Any one of you that is stepping outside your comfort zone, even right now, to think, what am I committing to? I'm a little bit nervous. I have some things in my calendar, but I'm going to navigate those things in order to become a problem solver to get the most I can out of this next 90 days in my business. That's what it's all about. You're showing courage to know that you are going to courageously lead yourself, your family, and your entire team and if you're brand new in the business, guys, and you're just starting to grow a team, that's what this business takes. It takes courage.
It truly does. And knowing that there's graduations coming up, there's pool parties, there's different things, and we're going to be doing some traveling here in the next couple of weeks as well. But fitting this in, why? Because it's your turn. And we could all make excuses, right? We could all come up with the next thing. And the bottom line is, you guys know, life's going to happen anyway, okay? And so you just kind of want to jump in because it is your turn. Some of you guys are just brand new and maybe you came on board with the 90-day Fast Track and you just did your contract, you just started your Market America business. So what we want to provide for you is just going through the checklist system with you so you guys can just start your journey. Some of you guys have been, got great results and did the 90-day fast track with us last time and with the Winklers, and you got great results, and we want to commend you. You got momentum and you're carrying that through. And then
huge right there.
Some of you guys have been with Market America for a while and maybe taken your foot off the gas pedal, maybe had some things happen, and you're ready to get going again. So we're going to do our best to share what we've done over the last 20 years of our business.
Man,
and crazy. But we just want to share from our hearts and hope that you guys take what you like, leave out what you don't, and we're just going to talk and be very transparent about what we've done, and we want you guys to all get something from it. So the bottom line is, no matter what comes up in the next 12 weeks, you guys, who is going to put you at the top of their priority list besides you? Who is going to reach your goals and strive for your goals specifically besides you? Who is going to take care of your family or your kids or your future grandkids or, whatever your goals might be besides you? There's no time. Something's always going to come up. There's no time like the present to just take action in every single step, whether it's perfect, whether it's not, whether the checklist is all filled out or it's not. Every single step you guys do, then over the next 12 weeks moves you guys closer to your goals and closer to your future.
Yeah, so one of the first things we wanted to do is a number of you being brand new on here. Some of you guys know us. We've been hanging out for many years with some of you, but some of you are brand new, maybe have no clue who we are. So we were just going to take just a couple of minutes and just share a little bit about our background. And so that way we could get to know each other really quick.
Absolutely. We've been doing this for a little while. I'd say we just mentioned 20 years and really kind of have grown up with this company and been so blessed. But it's just my background, our background, we're just going to share here, but really started this business at 24 years old. I was personally raised by a single mom, and she taught me, just like they still teach our 5 kids in school. We have 5 amazing kids. The oldest is 22. The youngest just turned 15 2 days ago.
Yep.
Oh
15.
My gosh. It's in his birthday week, as he said. But anyway, that wasn't always the case. And just being raised by a single mom, she just kind of taught me, just like they do our kids in school, you're going to go out. You're going to get if you go to college, you're going to get a great job. And I bought into that, right? And so after I got my big fancy degree, I ended up waitressing at Ruby Tuesdays for a year and Lone Star for another year, and ended up moving. We're from Chicago, born and raised, but moved to Colorado at the time and could not find a job, put my resumes out everywhere, couldn't find it. And I finally took a job with a big phone company called MCI, not at the top, like for a supervisor position or anything like that. I thought I was going to make $50,000 to $100,000 a year right off the bat, and ended up being a telemarketer, which I know you guys everybody wants to grow up and be a telemarketer, right? Right. That stunk. But I thought, okay, I'm going to work my way up this company. And the week I started working at MCI, you guys, was the week I found out that I was pregnant with our oldest. And for those of you that have kids, you know that they changed some things. And I actually sat next to a guy, telemarketing. His name was David Whited. And some of you guys might have heard of David. That is a picture. That is a terrible picture of our family. It's hard to see. But yeah, it is hard to see. We had a slideshow here, but that's okay.
We had a glitch with the system, so it is what it is. Ready, fire, aim. You do what you got to do.
Do it. So we decided to hold up pictures. But anyway, David came to me and it's like, Trinity, my brother showed me this amazing business, Market America, and I actually was not very nice. I blew him off for 7 months. Went on maternity leave, had my son. And after my maternity leave was over, I remember just putting him in daycare, and I didn't have the choice to go back to work, to stay home with my son. I had to go back to work because we had a lot of money on the credit cards at the time. I didn't have that choice. And I was putting him in daycare, you guys. I was getting him ready in the morning. He's crying, I'm crying. And I remember one morning specifically was really rainy and just one of those dreary days, and I'm packing the diaper bag, and he's crying in the crib, and I'm doing again, hey, Rock, it's going to be okay. It's all right. We're going to have a great day, and I'm packing some more stuff. Hold on, I'm going to go into this room and grab this, and I could hear him crying, And I'm just packing it all up, as us moms do, right? Going, going, going. And he was crying harder, and I finally turned to him and was like, Brock, what's the matter? And he's 11 months old at this time, you guys. 11 months old. He stood up in his crib, and I remember he just looked at me and he just said, bye-bye. And oh my gosh, I was like, I can't do this anymore. There's got to be something better. And I'm crying, and oh, geez. And I just thought to myself, holy cow, I am doing the exact same thing that my mom, who worked very hard being a single mom, by the way, that my mom was doing, she had to do with me, right? And she was putting food on the table. But I wanted to be there for our kids so much, and I thought there's got to be something different. So I went back to telemarketing and said, where the heck did David Whiting go? Because he had quit his job by then. And I was like, I need to look at this. And I'm so grateful. We're both grateful that obviously we did. We've been so blessed through the years, been able to be the room mom. That was my personal goal. You've been able to coach 3 out of our 5 kids in basketball. And, you know, and you were working very hard when you seen this business as well. That's how we met.
Yeah, I was working for a pharmaceutical company. I was working for Bayer, and I was working in their maintenance division of that manufacturing facility in South Chicago. And man, I liked what I did, but I didn't like working 12, 16-hour days. How many of you guys can relate with that one, right? Most people can relate with that. Yeah. And my dad came to me one day, and we sat down and had lunch, and my dad said, hey, I'm not going to retire like I was planning at the age of 62. I have to go out and get another job. And I thought, man, my dad sacrificed the best years of his life between alarm clocks and time clocks to then get the congratulations, go out and get another job. And so it was at that time that I said, man, there's got to be a better way. And I was going to start a traditional business, and at the same time got introduced to this Unfranchise business. And when I got introduced to this, I was skeptical, but I had been introduced to many multi-level marketing companies that friends and family were doing, but no one was earning enough money to leave their full-time jobs. And so I just really wasn't interested. And then this business came. It was vertical marketing versus horizontal. And I was like, oh my gosh, you got my attention. And it was going to that first seminar, going to the first major event in Miami, Florida, you know, MA World Conference, you guys, that totally changed my thinking. You know, brought a bunch of people there with us, and just seeing the passion from JR and Dennis and Kevin and, you know, all of the leaders that lead our company, you guys, I was just like, you know, it's who they're being, not as much as what they were saying from stage. It was who they were being. It was the empowerment. It was the high five and cheering each other on, right? The high five in order to say, we got this, and we're going to cheer each other on. In a world where we're not really taught or raised to cheer each other on, we're going to be a little different. We're going to be a little weird. It's like, it's weird. Like, you're going to cheer each other on. We're going to high five each other and have a great time.
Yep.
And that's how it all started, really.
Exactly. That's how it started. And again, we've been so blessed through the years to do so many things. We could talk till midnight here, but we won't, you know, but just about how many memories and how many pictures we could hold up. And, you know, that's the biggest thing I would say to all of you guys is I commend you for taking action for your future, because you've got to live there, right? This is all for you. And somebody believed in us enough, and, you know, we appreciate that. And so we definitely want to give back to you, but we want you guys to give to yourself. And what a great gift over the next 12 weeks. If you treat this like a business, it'll pay you like a business. I promise you. And you get to customize your future. If Market America is willing to give you everything that you want, which it will, what are you willing to give to Market America? What are you willing to give to yourself? And plus, we're going to have a ton of fun. Right, Haskins?
That's it.
That's
if it ain't fun, it ain't worth doing.
Yep. Oh, you found our slides.
So they can't see them.
They can't
the
see
slides
the slide.
didn't load into the Meet On session correctly, but it's okay because we will load those slides and the information into the Facebook page as soon as we're done here tonight, immediately. Get these loaded in. So number one, every week, you guys, it's all going to revolve around an action plan.
Yes.
And the number one thing on the action plan that everybody's going to be working on is the weekly checklist. And we're going to go through this in detail in a moment. But as it pertains to week 1 of the 90-day fast track, ending May 11th. I sent this out last week just so everybody could be prepared of what we're doing. But everybody's going to be reading the same book for the next 4 weeks.
Yep.
And the name of the book is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And on the Facebook page, you'll see on there recommendations of where you can buy. You get off your website, Barnes & Noble, iBooks, you name it. You can download it if you're somebody like Sharon and I would like to download stuff. So it's on our computer, it's on our phones. We can read stuff, highlight it, do it on that on our smart devices. But if you want the hardback, then go get it. It's a best-selling book. And actually, Sharon and I have had the pleasure to meet and hang out with Harv, and he's just an amazing guy. But this book, you guys, is all about transforming your mindset and maybe uncovering some things about your past that are serving you, but there's some other things about your past that maybe not be serving you. And quite possibly for some of you, it's exactly what's holding you back. And so
powerful.
That's it. So over the next 4 weeks, we're going to be reading Secrets of the Millionaire Mind as a team. Number 2 here is each week we're going to have a video. So our video of the week is Breakdown to Breakthroughs by Lauren Reitinger. And of course, that's right off of the Market America YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you go to Market America within YouTube, click the subscribe button, and then find the video Breakdown to Breakthroughs with Lauren Reitinger. Absolutely incredible video.
Oh, she's so powerful.
It's one of those things where like Trent and I watch it like over and over and over again. Each day it's kind of like you get up in the morning and you don't have to like listen to the whole thing start to finish, but you just listen to a little bit of it, kind of leave off. All right, I'm at like 5 minutes, and then I listen to 5 minutes the next day or whatever it might be, you guys, as you get through stuff over the next week.
And let's face it, sometimes we need a little Lauren Reitinger in our mornings. Let's just face it.
That's it. That's it.
Any time of day.
That's it. And then our audio of the week, which is going to be located on your Unfranchise Media App, all right, which everybody should have downloaded to your smart device, is the 90-Day Fast Track by J.R. Reitinger. And that is a audio that Sharon and I have worn out over the years, especially when we were brand new. I mean, we're like listening to that thing in a cassette, of course, right? I was sharing this the other day on a video.
Right.
It's like, remember the cassette tapes?
Of course.
Sharon had cassettes everywhere in her car, like stepping on them, and don't break it, don't break it. Like she's freaking out, you know. I'm like, hey, cassettes. I'm like, they make cassette holders, you know. And she's like, I don't have time for that. Don't have time for that. I'm showing the plan. So, you know, just out of control. But today we don't have to worry about cassettes. It's all right on the Unfranchise Media app. And back then, each cassette we paid for. It was like an investment. $5 a cassette. That's it. And today, everybody gets the audios on the Unfranchise Media app for free. Included in our subscription, everybody gets to download the audios for free. And I think there again, it's a great testament to our business and moving people forward so they can succeed.
Absolutely. Unfranchise Media.
Unfranchise Media. Yeah. Now, we also have bonus points. Now, I didn't send these out, but I'll send them out right after we get off of this thing. But there's going to be 2 bonus points for the week, 2 different things that you got to do that will earn you bonus points each week that are going to add on to your weekly checklist. So it's a little something additional that you're going to do that is going to move your business forward faster, all right? So number 1, you're going to earn 20 points for posting your reason why you're building an unfranchise and working the 2 to 3 year business system within this Facebook group, within the 90-Day Fast Track Facebook group. And that can be written out. You can write out what your reason why is. You can record a short video or you can do a photo. Maybe it's a photo of your kids, you know, and you just write a little something at the top of it or whatever it might be. But if you post your reason why into the Facebook group, you're going to receive an extra 20 points this week. And we know for some people, this could be uncomfortable for some people.
Well, and I think this whole
like
thing is about about putting yourself out there and growing, not just your business, but you have to grow from point A to point B as a person, right? And personally, just being a telemarketer, like why am I on Meet-On? How am I supposed to teach you all how to make 6 figures, right? Trinity had a little personal growth to go through, let's be honest, okay? But we don't need to be nosy or anything like that. You don't have to put a picture of your credit card debt on there or anything like that, but put what you feel comfortable with on there. But the whole reason to do it, you guys, is to make sure you utilize your reason why. You have, besides the checklist or the getting started guide or anything else, nothing else is going to make sense until you need to stop everything else that you're doing until you figure out your reason why that you're doing Market America. And that's where, we'll put our pictures of the kids up there, and we can hold them up and all that good stuff. But you can't really see them right here with the lighting. But we're doing this because of our family, and we want to leave a legacy, okay? So we want to make sure that you find whatever reason it is that's going to drive you off the couch, that's going to have you skip the pool party, that's going to have you, make sure that you get off your crusty dusty and you just go out there and do it. Sometimes when Cullen and the kids have had a movie, they're ordering pizza, and I had a 7 o'clock appointment. There's some days, let's be honest, where it's just like, oh man, we really don't want to go out, or I don't want to go out to that appointment or whatever. That's when you do go, right? So identify what's going to move you forward, what's something so important that you have to build Market America, okay? You have to peel back those layers until you find it.
Peel that onion back. When your reason why makes you cry, right, Jackie Birchman? That's the deal, right?
That's so true.
And the bigger the why, the easier the how. The bigger the why, the easier the how. Jim Rohn, okay, the late great Jim Rohn, one of the greatest teachers in teaching people how to bust out of your comfort zones. And that's why we're starting with this, and a 20-point bonus, because without that why, like you were alluding to, who's going to take action?
Right.
See, if you've got a big why, then the how-to, simple. We got
simple.
this.
That's right.
Rock it out, right?
So true.
Yep.
Yes.
High-fiving all the time.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, so the next bonus point is going to be 10 points. You're going to earn 10 points for each new teammate that you add to your 90-day fast track over this next week. It has to be between May 5th and May 11th. Anyone that you've added between the 6th and the 11th, starting today, any new people that you're adding and because, some people think, well, I kind of missed it. I kind of missed the mark, like, oh no, man, I missed it. I can't get started in it. Yeah. And we want to encourage you. Trinity and I picked up the phone. We called a number of people, and guess what? People committed, you guys. Well, we had to make a personal phone call and talk to them a little bit more about what? The reason why. And what are they really looking for? And I'll tell you what, the number one things we were hearing were, I just got a lot on my calendar, and I don't think I can be perfect on the weekly checklist. And it was like, well, the business isn't about perfection, you guys. It's about progress. Progress.
So true.
Okay. A lot of people are like, practice makes perfect, but it's not. Practice makes progress.
Good.
And if you're progressing and you're taking one step at a time, it's all about learning, and then we do. Learn, then do. And then each week we're going to learn, and then we're going to what?
Do.
We're going to do. And so some people are skipping the do stuff. They're great at the learn stuff, but now it's like, then we got to do. And so we're going to help get everybody doing more, just like we are committed to doing more with our Team Freedom. We have our own Team Freedom as well in this fast track as well, you guys. And we have a number of people within our team that are also captaining within our organization, their own teams. And so that's what it's about. It's about duplication.
Yep, it is. It's truly about duplication. And a lot of you might have heard this before, but a very famous man, J. Paul Getty, said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And if you really think about that,
it's so big.
It's so huge. And that's what this checklist and the weekly accountability is all about, is a lot of people doing a little bit. This whole business, you guys, is made for average people with above average goals. So whoever it might be, no matter what, if you are just starting and you don't have any people yet, great. We're going to help you along with that journey. But whoever's life that you can change, explain. It doesn't have to be about perfection, but it's just everybody showing one plan a week. Now, if you want to take it a step further and go faster, this definitely allows you to have massive explosive growth. But everybody's selling one product per week and so forth, which is definitely the key, right?
That's it.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about the weekly checklist, you guys. And on this weekly checklist, it's all about, again, working things step by step in order to make things happen. You know, it's interesting how people think that it's just like all of a sudden you're going to do one great thing and it's going to be so massively awesome that it's like, boom, director.
Trinity and Cullen have the answer. Woo!
Yeah, it's like, but it's one thing, and then it's like, boom, I hit it. Or I showed one great plan, and then boom, we hit it. And that's not what happens. It's literally a accumulation of the daily habits that we're putting into the business, which is the weekly checklist. So it goes right off of what Trinity was just teaching you guys, which is you could take this weekly checklist, all right? And as we look at the weekly checklist, you could take this weekly checklist here, and we're going to go kind of line by line. So if you're having a hard time seeing it, it's in the 90-day fast track group as well, but we'll go line by line with you. But if you fill it out perfectly and you get a perfect score and you get your bonus points for the week, you're killing it. You're rocking it. Everything's going awesome. You're doing it perfect, but yet no one else on your team is. So that's you doing 100% of the work. It's the opposite of J. Paul Getty.
Exactly. It's the 45-year plan, right? And by having duplication with your checklist, it's really working more 2 to 3 year plan hours versus 40 to 45-year plan hours. So with this, a lot of you guys are familiar with it, but to me, half of this checklist is all mental and really working on yourself. And the other half is what we call, hitting the bullseye activity, right? Just growing your business activity, BV producing activity. So this whole sheet, you guys, is based on 10 hours per week for a 2 to 3 year plan, okay? And again, duplication. So it's kind of self-explanatory. And the first thing that we do is, again, work on ourselves. The first 3 things that we do is we're going to work on ourselves. So we're going to listen or watch one audio or video per day, okay? And the points are right there on the right-hand side. So it could be what we suggest. You could watch the whole video if you have time and if that's what you need. But if it's only 10 to 15 minutes per day, you're working on yourself mentally to prepare yourself. And that's going to be huge because you want to really learn your business, you guys, and know what you have. If you think about it, Market America has the best products, the best compensation plan, but we also have something that so many other companies don't, and that's our unfranchised system, our global meeting and training seminar system all across the country. Pick up the manual and get to know the corporate team, really understand what you have in your hands. It's huge. So by doing that and listening to an audio, read, every
it's a 90-day fast track. You should be listening to 90-day fast track every single day until you can speak it like it's coming out. I think that's part of some people. Some people like listen to something new every single day and yet maybe get overwhelmed by that, almost thinking like they're trying to learn so much new all the time that they're not doing again. So it's like, listen to something until you got it, man. And it's like, then move on to something new.
And read something 10 to 20 minutes per day, and that, you guys, you got to fit that in, whether you first wake up in the morning before you go to bed at night. Why? Because again, mentally, you've got to work on yourself. It's kind of like what we share. If you got to be bulletproof. For those of you who've gotten an amazing testimony on OPC or on one of the products, if somebody said, oh, that trim tee doesn't work, you'd look at them like they have 3 heads. You're going to be
taking them outside, man.
Taking them outside. If somebody tells us that this doesn't work, we're like, I'm sitting there going, let's roll, chickie, let's go out there, because I know what this does for you and your family and you and your goals. So make sure that you work on yourself every single day. Read your goal statement every single day, 2 times a day. Not 1, 2 times a day. And I'll be very transparent with you. We have our dream board out there. It's right in our bathroom.
Brand new dream board.
Brand new dream board.
Well, it's about 6 months old, but that's new. That's pretty new for us.
Yeah. And so we put it right in the bathroom. So when we brush our teeth and other things, we see it every single day. Why? Because we want it in our mind, right? So yeah, probably too much information for you guys, but sell 1 new product to a new customer every single week. Guys, think about it. if you're in traditional business or you're a business owner or at your job, whatever it might be, if you just had to service one new customer per week and make the same amount of money, let alone a residual income, would you guys be excited about that? If you knew, I mean, 10 hours a week. You know, our 15-year-old could sell one new product a week. He could hand out some trial sizes.
Yeah.
He could send out a trim tee video.
And that's the thing. This checklist, by the way, is 10 hours a week.
10
you know,
hours.
People look at, again, I think sometimes people look at the bigger pin level and think, man, they had to work it harder than 10 hours a week. And really the reality is we were so full-time at our jobs that when you're working 12 hours a day, 7 at morning till 7 at night, you guys, and a lot of times I was working, 16s. So 7 in the morning till 11 at night. I mean, squeezing stuff in. You're just doing the best job you can. But I'll tell you what we did do. And what I think some people are missing the boat on is we took out our phone and like our contacts. Well, back then I didn't have this fancy phone. Back then I was like, you guys remember the phone? Like it was the size of like the shoebox. You remember the first like cell phone ever? Like I had that thing. But anyways, we had to take all of our contacts and guess what we did? We called them.
We did.
And people today are like, well, I would rather go talk to strangers than talk to a friend of mine. And I find that interesting. I'm just like, what? Like your friends don't like you enough to take a look at this or point us in the right direction? Don't focus on getting your friend into the business, but lead us to the right people. But everything on the checklist, you guys, the whole point of this, as I'm digressing, is 10 hours a week.
10 hours a week. And by adding 2 names to your possibility list per day, right? You're going to add names everywhere you go, whether it's the grocery store, whether it's the bank. You're just going to add possibilities. And I remember just starting this, somebody said this to me. If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could make $3,600 a week residual ongoing income for the rest of your life, that you had to clean toilets at Wrigley Field Stadium or pick a stadium, whatever your favorite sport
with a toothbrush.
With a toothbrush. You had to scrub those toilets and scrub the bathroom with a toothbrush for 3 years to make residual ongoing income. Would you do it?
$2,100 a week.
That's what it was back then, $2,100 a week. Now it's $3,600 a week. Think about that. Would you do that? Some of you guys just might. You know what? I probably would. We don't have to do that, you guys. But what you want to do is you're going to take out your cell phone. You're going to get out your wedding names list, your invitation list for your wedding. You're going to just jot down names as you think of it. And the goal is to come up with 200 to 300 names on your names list. And you're going to go through those names in the next 2 to 3 years. It's not so bad as cleaning a toilet with a toothbrush, right? To get you to a 6-figure residual income. So you're going to add 2 names per day on your possibility list. And guess what? Like Colin said, you're going to talk to them. You're going to have a conversation, and you're going to want to contact one person per day and just make those phone calls, whether we do call workshops, whether we do calls together. Guess what? Can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and we have lived by that. So we're going to definitely spend some time on that as well. And you're going to book appointments through doing that. You're going to show the business plan 1 time per week. 1 time per week. Now, a lot of you guys want to go crazy with this, double up as many times as you want to, and you have a very aggressive goal. And we love you for that, and we're going to help you on your journey with that. And again, you guys, it's not about perfection, but it's really, truly about mastering the basic 5.
Yeah, I mean, we had somebody this past week, you guys, contact us and say, hey, I'm in a position where literally some of these items on this list, I can't do any of them because of where they were, and it just, and when they explained it to me, I totally understood. But as soon as I found out what they were doing and where they were at, I said, okay, I get it. Some of these things you can't do. I said, but here's the deal, right here, add 2 a day. Where they were at, I said, you should be adding 10 a day.
Yes.
And outside of that, you come back with all these new possibilities after 1 week.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Then the next weeks, you're going to be taking massive action and checking off the other boxes, and then everything's going to start to flow.
You bet.
The point is, get something done on the list versus saying all or nothing. Because for me, you guys, it's a little bit of an excuse for some people, and it could be a habit for some people. Some people's habits are serving to uplift them towards their goal, while other habits we have are taking us down.
So true.
Like an anchor, bringing us down to the bottom of the ocean. All right. And it's like sometimes you got to cut that anchor and say, you know what? Is that my default excuse I always fall to when I'm in a sticky situation? Like if I can't do something 100%, I just don't want to do it. And then you stop and say to yourself, wait a second. If I'm 50% right on this checklist, that means 50% right over the next 90 days. Am I going to increase customers? Absolutely. Am I going to sell a couple tickets by accident? Absolutely. And am I going to expand my distributor base, my team? And the answer is yes. Because you're 50% right. We're going to be rolling forward. And that's really the key.
Rolling it forward, baby.
Stepping it up.
And when you're showing the plan, you guys, again, know that this is a gift. And so many people, like myself, have woken up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You're exhausted working your 12-hour shifts. People are praying for a solution for their family.
100%.
People are waking up just praying for something different, you guys, and you have the solution. People are in pain. You have the solution. So we're just going to have a ton of fun and get in conversations, but you're going to show some business plans as a team independently, but we're all getting through this and stepping out of our comfort zone together, and you're showing the plan. You're going to follow up with them. And we're going to teach you exactly how to follow up and what to say to people. We're going to do different meet-ons here on a weekly basis about each one of these segments. And we're going to break it down and just give different suggestions, share stories, and have a ton of fun. So following up is also important, and going to the trainings. Again, that's what makes our company so unique from anything that we've ever seen before is our training system. So whether you are just starting your business again, in stepping it up, whether you are brand new to Market America, it doesn't matter. Sometimes life overwhelms you. Sometimes the business might overwhelm you. Again, you guys, this is all about you taking action for your future. And when things get all overwhelming, I'm supposed to sell products, but I'm supposed to read this career manual, and I'm supposed to go to these meetings, but I got to talk to oh my gosh, what do I do? Keep it simple. Check off the boxes. This little sheet right here is truly what got us to a 6-figure income in our early 20s. And we know if it did it for us, it can definitely do it for you. It works.
That's it. And obviously, we have a lot of earners within our organization, too. A lot of professionals, supervising, national, and then you got directors within the team, you guys, because it's all about duplication, and that's the key. One other thing I'll share with you guys, this is a weekly checklist. So this kind of gives us our week at a snapshot, and this is what we're going to accomplish over a week worth of work, 10 hours within the week. Yeah. Some people say, Cullen, I need something more detailed. So here's first of all, you're going to take this, you're going to make 12 copies, and you're going to put this into your binder and keep one in front of you. Yes. Every day, we've got one in front of us, so then we see it. We see it on the fridge. We got the challenge right over here. It's over here on the fridge. Yep. Well, we got all this stuff, you guys, but we're going to check off boxes because if it's in front of my face, I remember to do it. Yep. And sometimes when we're not in the habit, here's the key. When we're not in the habit of moving in the right direction, we tend to flatline, all right, and just stand still. But some of you come to Trinity and I or another leader and say, that's great, but can I get something that's more daily? Some of you want like a daily, this is what you do, that basically equate to the weekly checklist, okay? But you want it said to you daily. Like, what can I do? Print off something for the next 90 days, 1 sheet per day. That resource is available to you on GoNowResource.com. Under the miscellaneous tab over to the right, there's a form down there. It's a 90-day fast track underneath. Frank Kiefer's name's on there. Frank Kiefer, it's the daily, all right? If you're someone who needs the daily, go print that off. Print off 90 copies and put it in your binder, all right? Trin and I, we needed something that was weekly, where it was like, here's our week at a snapshot. But see, all of us are different. And what's so great is we have all these different tools within the systems that all the leaders have created, but everything works off of what?
Getting started guide.
The getting started guide, you guys. It's all about the getting started guide. All these mini checklists are basically the getting started guide at a week to 90 days to 6 months in the business to a year in the business, and you check off the boxes and you're going to make it happen. And this is what we live by is, of course, our getting started guide. So the getting started guide, you guys, checking off the boxes of your commitments, which, by the way, Trinity and I are sticklers on. Everybody we bring onto the team is going to check off the I will commitment boxes here in the getting started guide. And if we don't check off these boxes first, we're not going to the computer to do the application.
It's true.
Because we're not going to set someone else to fail, set them up to fail, have someone mad at us later. Really, you didn't tell me about this. You didn't tell me about that. Guys, this is the system that was created, that was turnkey to where a couple of 24-year-olds didn't have to be that smart, and we could still make a lot of money with the company.
Absolutely.
Follow the system. And on here it says you're going to follow this 12-month proven system, 8 to 15 hours a week. You're going to purchase some training tickets. Training tickets, like Trinity mentioned, it's the glue really for us that held it together, because being young, he's going to listen to us, but we could bring them to the training and say, hey, come meet Jim Winkler, come meet Jackie Blasco.
We don't know the answer, but this person will. You just got to come. Let's go.
That's it.
That's all we did.
We had to get people in front of other people and say, all right, just sit back and let's take notes, and they're taking notes, and then we're all learning together. In order to make it happen. But if you don't know, there's training that's required in order to make the money. And of course, people want to get stuck on that dot too sometimes. They're like, was the trainings required? And it's like, no, not technically, but the money's optional too.
Exactly.
Like, we don't know anybody who's made it to a 6-figure income with the company that doesn't promote the trainings and get their team trained. Like, nobody's ever done it. So I'd hate for you to think that you're going to be the exception to the rule and think, well, I'm just going to kind of do it my way and hope it works. And we and all of us leaders wouldn't put our name on that to know that that's not going to duplicate correctly, and then we're the ones that obviously are going to get blamed.
That's exactly why, you guys, it's part of the checklist. It's part of the basic 5. And the getting started guide, the weekly accountability sheet here, this is all about when things get crazy or gets overwhelming, just do the checklist. Just check off these boxes, because it will pay you like a business if you treat it like one.
That's it.
That's it.
100%. So let's talk about this really quick. So it's the staircase to success, right? So we're right now, we're at the beginning of a 90-day fast track, and we're going to start checking off the boxes on our fast track list.
Yep.
And as we move forward, we're going to start with some new habits. Trinity and I couldn't possibly start our business and think we're going to keep the same daily routine that we had for so many years, and then all of a sudden start a new business that's requiring 10 hours a week and not have to change some of our habits that we had already set in place.
It's true.
Because some of the habits, again, are going to help us, and those are great, and we want to hang on to those, but we're going to have to learn some new habits and insert that into our daily routine. And as we start to do them daily, all of a sudden they become what? Habits of what our new daily routine looks like. All right? And so as we go step by step, so here's the $1 million question I want everybody to ask themselves. Anytime you have tough decisions to make, all right, because you're going to have them. Life's going to get in the way. Kids, look, 5 kids, life's going to...
There's always something going on.
There's going to be some curveballs that are thrown at you. But every time there was a tough decision to make, Trinity and I would always default and ask ourselves this question. Is this decision that we're making, is it moving us closer to our goal of being home with our kids, full-time parents?
Your reason why.
Your reason why you're doing the business. Or is this decision taking me away from, going back down the staircase, away from my reason why I'm doing the business?
That's really good, babe.
That's really the litmus test.
It really is.
Because in the end, you're going to have to make some what we call exchanges or sacrifices in order to make things happen. Trinity and I knew by committing to be the leader of this next 90-day fast track that this meant we were committed on Saturday to collecting all of the captain sheets and spending some hours of sitting down and tabulating numbers and making sure we had everything in order, developing action plans for each week, developing some training material, acknowledging the teams on Sunday. So it's going to require some time on Saturday, and it's going to require some time on Sundays and Sunday nights, you guys, for the next 12 weeks. And of course, it's like we just moved to Florida in August, and summer's coming. And yet we could think of any excuse in the world that we wanted to kind of derail us, if you will. Now, guys, doesn't mean we can't go to the beach at all. It just means we've got to be creative with the calendar. Same thing with you. You have to be creative with your calendar in order to be a problem solver. And I noticed some of you wrote that in here, right? We are problems. I think it was Bart Bolt.
So true.
Huge leader up there in Wisconsin, Bart Bolt. So it's like, we are problem solvers. We eat problems or challenges for breakfast, man.
Get it done. We have a big slogan in our family. And the person that solves the most problems makes the most money.
They win. They win.
They win every single time. Yep, and we're going to talk about that too, how to get creative with your time, how to fit things in, how to leverage yourself. I had a day just the other day where I had like 5 follow-up phone calls, and it was beautiful. It was at 85 degrees, and I'm sitting here and at home, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm doing them from the beach. Let's go. And I just sat there and did the phone calls at the beach. I literally was doing some 3-way phone calls and some follow-ups for some of our teammates, and I kid you not, there's dolphins just jumping right in front of me. I'm like, what an amazing business, right? You get to customize it. So fun.
That's it. So when you're looking at moving forward and creating some new habits in your life, again, are these daily steps, are these habits moving me closer to my goal, my reason why, what I really want out of the business, all right? Or is this decision going to take me away from that goal? And you got to fill out a weekly time grid worksheet, right? A time grid worksheet. We're gonna post one of those too. You got to look at that. I think Jackie, Going Out Resources is one of those too. But you need to itemize what. Like I had to put in that, you guys. What is my weekly schedule already looking like? What are my 12-hour shifts looking like? And then mark that time out of my schedule because I'm working in a factory. I mean, I'm selling products to some of the people in the factory. I'm showing the plan to some of the people in the factory. But really, it's the same people over and over again.
Yep.
So you get to a place of like, yeah, that kind of carved out. I really can't do a lot there other than my breaks, which, man, I would maximize my breaks. I'm just telling you. But then outside of work, I had to be very creative outside of work.
Yep.
But I had to put down what is for sure in my calendar that I can't change because I still had to pay the bills at that point, right? We still had a mortgage and everything else. But then how do I integrate?
Exactly. And it really is about being creative too. This business, you guys, 90% is posture and enthusiasm.
Woo! Excitement.
And 10% knowledge. People want to jump on board with somebody that's going somewhere. A lot of people think, just in general, that if you want to make a 6-figure income, it's very, very hard, right? Where they can create a 6-figure income, they work their tail off, but then what happens if they don't work? They will lose their income, right? This is not made for you to go out and kill this thing and never see your family, never have a life, never do the things you love. This is absolutely, again, about leverage and duplication of others. And by doing the simple task on a daily basis, it's very simple and very duplicatable for a lot of people. And so by doing that, if you can not only help other people create a 6-figure income by doing the same task, it can be a ton of fun. So that's, I guess, one of our biggest tips of the night is don't stress about it. There's probably nothing that you guys are going to go through that Colin and I have not been through, right, babe? In 20 years. But if you just take a breath, enjoy the journey, have a ton of fun. This business is so fun. And if you're not having fun yet, you just haven't found the right people yet because it truly is amazing.
That's it. And here's the thing. When your brain tries to take you out, when your brain starts to come up with all the what ifs or all the excuses that start to come up, right? Mm-hmm. This is the difference. The little voice. That little voice kind of chimes in. And some of you might be thinking like, well, what little voice is he talking about? It's like, that's probably the one that's talking to you right now. That's it. What little voice is it? Yeah. So the little voice is like, yeah, you can't do it. You can't have time, and then I'm too busy with my kids, and, I've had a bad day, I've had a bad week, whatever it might be. You got to get back on the horse. See, residual income is reserved for those of us that are willing, and that's all of you. It's reserved for you because you're on here, right? I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. You're committed, all right? You're willing to put in the daily and weekly steps, and even if you already know you've got some things in the calendar that might prevent that weekly checklist from being perfect, it don't matter because you're going to stay the course. And residual income is reserved for those people that are willing to pay for that today versus the people of today's world that are so interested and so wanting in instant gratification of getting paid immediately. See, or I could have made more money working overtime at my job than I did in my first 6 months of building our franchise. But as we were building it, it all started to compound, see. but it was having that hope
Right.
of being at my kids' games when my dad missed all my games growing up, pretty much, you guys. That's what we were hanging on to. And what else were we going to do to build a residual income that would continue to pay us and let us be the room mom and the coach and everything else, be able to volunteer at whatever we want to volunteer at, but it took some sacrifice in the beginning.
It did. And again, why? Why did we continue to go? Again, because we knew our reason why. And your reason why is going to change after the years, right? Colin and I really had to dig deep. We just moved again, to Florida from Chicago, and it's kind of like, okay, our kids are getting older. What do we want, right? And your reason why is truly going to drive you and make you a huge success. And that's what it's about.
And I just want to encourage everybody, because other people, and again, I know this is none of you. And how do I know this? Because you're on here, all right? Because you're committed, all right? Mm-hmm. The deal is, a lot of people are great starting. People are great starters, right? They're great at being like, okay, I'm going to start something new. And they get all excited. Woo-hoo. And all of a sudden, they're excited. They're vibrating at a different level. And they get rolling, and they take a couple of steps up. And they get up here, and literally right there.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
You're right to the top.
Yeah.
You literally were pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and maybe pushing in our business is you got a few no's. You had a few people that didn't show up for a follow-up appointment.
That didn't work.
And the appointment went really great. You're like, man, Trin and I come home, we high-five each other, man, that appointment went incredible. And I mean, I remember hard close the dude. I'm just like, hey, listen, man, the only thing I ask you this is I'm a man of integrity, and I'm sure you are too. No matter what, just communicate with me. If this isn't right for you, I'm cool, man. But if it is right, let's move forward. Let's move, the right direction, and let me see if I can help you out. All right. And then boom, we call for the follow-up phone call, and the guy's not there. Mm-hmm. And then I'm thinking, that doesn't happen to directors, but we laugh because it's like, so when we were new, that would happen, and we think, man, once we're a director, it's never gonna happen, But then we're directors, and it happens, and we're just like, I can't believe that guy just did that. But what's hilarious is some of you think that that's only reserved for you because you're newer in the business, or you're really just getting some traction in your business, and it's like, man, what am I doing wrong? And what you got to realize, it's just the wrong person. That's not the right person.
It is so
You've been dragging them across.
Think about it, you guys. Everybody wants more time. Everybody wants more money. I always share my big joke, right? But I always say that business is like sit-ups. Let's be honest. We all know what to do to look like J-Lo or like Mark Anthony or like, rock solid abs, right? It's very simple concept. You just got to put a little work involved, right? It's very simple concept, but not so easy, right? And so that's the thing, is what's going to move you forward with your reason why. We never let other people, don't ever let anybody else dictate your goals and your future. Everybody's going to steal your dreams away, right? But it's for those of you, like Colin said, reserves, that will push through and get right up here. We never used our kids as our excuse. We always used them for our reason why we push through.
The driving force.
Those no's, you're gonna read every day. You're gonna listen to your audios every day. You're gonna read those goals and put those dream boards up. If you don't have a dream board yet, you guys, make one. It's a ton of fun. Just have a good time, but know your reason why and use that as your driving force. Because guess what? What happens if you don't build this business, right? What happens to your reason why? What happens to your goals? Think about that and just check off these boxes and move forward.
A lot of people, as they're building up and they get right here, you guys, they feel like they're here on the board. I just want to point this out because it's a mental thing again. Look at my stud dude right here, all right?
Very handsome.
Guy, girl, I don't know. But here's the thing.
Hair. Got the 80s hair going
80s hair.
on.
Yeah, a lot of Aquanet in that hair right there. So here we go. They feel like they're literally right here, okay? That's how some people feel, but they're not. They're literally right here, and success is about to bust. And you've already had some little successes. I've gained some customers. I'm getting some testimonials. I'm gaining some great traction. I added one new partner, but man, it just doesn't seem like it's going fast enough. Yeah. And all it is you got to continue the weekly checklist. You got to stay in the rhythm of building the business, and the habits create the rhythm. And as we create that rhythm, then we're in the habit. And then guess what? People want to follow people who are going somewhere, right?
Yep.
Meaning we're committed, and they see that we're committed,
Yeah.
and so therefore they want to join the team. All right. But if they sense, and sometimes it's not necessarily what you're saying, it's like literally kind of smell it on us. For some people,
energy.
The energy. If they sense that you're not in it to win it, they're like, man, I just don't know. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know when you make some money, stuff like that. You got to give it great energy, but you got to be committed to hitting your success, which is your reason why you're building the business. And it's the weekly checklist again.
Preparing yourself mentally, out loud verbal projections. And that's the thing. If you think that stuff is silly, then just be rich and silly, right? We always say, you don't think what you say on a daily basis affects you, or, everybody I talk to needs to hear about Market America, right? Your out loud verbal projections, I always tell, it makes a difference. And if you don't think it does, go in the bathroom, write on your kid's bathroom mirror in lipstick or marker or whatever, just put like, you're a big loser.
It's not permanent marker.
Yeah. Put, you're a big loser. Nobody would ever do that. Who would do that to your kids, right? I would never do that. Well, I thought it doesn't work, right? Again, feeding your mind and creating your own lifestyle, the right people will come along. You guys are going to build a huge and a very, very large organization. You're the leader, so don't ever let anybody else stop you from that.
So powerful, man, these out loud projections and listening to the audio every day.
The checklist is powerful.
Guys, that's all step by step, that's all we really did. And what's interesting is when we were not in the rhythm of building our business, because we built the business up, we were a national supervising coordinator, about 10,000 in a 4-week pay cycle. And when we hit that, and then we took our foot off the gas pedal some, really spent time with our kids and coaching and doing some things. And I will share this with you guys because I think it's a great learn for some of you, is when we weren't in build mode, it was easy to do this, all right? It was easy to get stuck on this thing. That right there is a dot, all right? Meaning it was easy to get stuck on certain things that were happening. And what was interesting is, and we really didn't even notice it at first, but the more we talked about it, the more we started to realize what was happening. But it was like we weren't in build mode. We didn't have blinders on. We weren't focused on our reason why as much anymore because we'd accomplished that. We had, good earners on our team. Everything was rocking. But we weren't in the trenches building, and it was easy to focus on things that weren't really that important, but a dot for us, like why this, why that, why is this happening, and why is the pill bottle one pill short and the
never
core?
were that bad.
Well, but it was still kind of like stuff would happen and we would question things, But when we were back in build mode and we're in the energy of building, it's like none of this even matters because the end result is the fruit that we were looking for, which was to spend more time with our kids.
Yeah.
And look, maybe you don't have kids, or maybe you have kids and you're thinking, man, yeah, that's awesome. You guys wanted more time with the kids. I just want to get away from my kids, right? Either way, it's awesome. Maybe you have no kids and you say, you know what? I just don't want to work the 45-year plan. And I want to travel more.
I want to travel more. I want to, build homes in another country for orphans or whatever it might be. Again, identifying your reason and just really giving back and affecting other people, and you have the perfect gift to give it to them. So what I would say to you guys is, we're going to have a ton of fun over the next 12 weeks. It's going to be a journey. I want you to enjoy it. We're going to have a blast. We're going to share tons of tips and different things that we've done, hear from some different leaders and other friends.
Oh man, we're going to have some surprises.
Yeah,
man.
We're going to have a good time for sure. But life is going to go by anyway, right? 2 to 3 months or 12 weeks is going to go by like that, right? 2 to 3 months, same thing. 2 to 3 years, it's going to go by anyway, whether you build this business or you don't. And same thing, 20 years for us, it went by, it's going to go by anyway, whether you build this or you don't. This is about your goals, your reason why, and what you are truly looking for. So you get to create your own future. You got to live there. And we are so just overwhelmed that we can help you along with that journey.
Absolutely. So we're gonna leave you guys with this. So today was a lot about me. We wanted to share our story.
We want to share the story.
Get to know everybody.
And you can't see the pictures. We're gonna post them, but like these, hold this up.
You can kind of see it from the
background. You can kind of see
Right
that.
there, right there. Those are our kids today. A little bit hard to see, but look at
20 years went by, guys.
The 22-year-old up there in the corner. He's got a beard.
He's got a beard.
And like, you know, he's in Colorado now, and like kids are just moving out of the house.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy. Cooper's getting his permit.
Yeah, Cooper's getting his driving permit. Yeah. Like every other day, Trinity's like, can't you shrink Cooper back down and
make them all go
make
back
him
down.
stay here forever? And
I was like, no, we're gonna have a good time.
And I'm like, man, we started when we were so young. I'm like, I'm ready for them to go, and we're gonna go travel more and do some things, and yeah. But that's why we're building, guys. The next couple of years, you know, Cooper's going to be finishing high school, and so our goal is executive field vice president. I'm just going to put it out there for you guys. Why? Because if I speak it out, it'll happen.
It'll happen.
But it also puts our back against the wall a little bit, and we got to do what we're asking you to do, which is what? Be a little uncomfortable, maybe. I mean, we're in Florida. We're making new friends, guys. We got to meet new people. No different than what you guys are probably doing to grow your business, and that's okay. Yeah. This is what it takes. Yep. What we want to leave you with, though, is today was a lot about attitude and some like how do we have the right mindset to move forward, okay? Every session we might have a little bit of attitude in there and how to have the right attitude mindset, because mindset's everything, guys. I'm telling you right now, when you have the right mindset, you'll take the action steps necessary in order to execute. Now, next week we're going to share some action steps, and we're going to give some more specific tips and some role playing, and like Trinity said, it's going to be a ton of fun over the next 90 days. And we look forward to seeing all of your posts, you guys, within the Facebook group. Yes. Listen, when you bring on a new partner, let us congratulate them. When you're hitting a new pin level, somebody hits a new pin level within your team, post it in the 90-day fast track group. When you do a successful home event, post it in the 90-day fast. Anything that's successful, I don't care how minute it is. All right, you could sell a lawn power tomorrow. In order to help someone's grass. It's one of my favorite products, by the way, lawn power spring this time of year.
I'll be surprised if we don't get through the 12 weeks without seeing the picture of the lawn.
Oh, listen, you do the lawn power, and then you post the photo and the customer you added. One new customer.
It's a big deal.
And that's a high five.
High five.
We want to encourage you to high five other people within your team. We want to encourage, and listen, family members won't even know what's going on. You just walk around the house and just be like, woo, can I get a high five? And then, you know, it's like, we're rocking this thing. And our kids are like, you guys are absolutely crazy. But it's all the energy that you're bringing to the table so we can continue to vibrate at a higher level. Link arms with people, you guys. Make things happen within the fast track. And anything any one of us can do to help support you as team captains, all right, we're here for you. And we're just excited to see all the growth, man. We're going to crush it.
We're going to crush it. One team, one dream. We're going to have a great time. So thank you again for your time tonight. We will see you next week, same time.
And teamwork truly does make the dream work, you guys. Thanks for being on with us tonight.
Bye.
Love you
See
guys.
you later.